Now what do we do?
I don't know.
You want to do another? We can do another lifting competition.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Dude,
no,
my
we
right
got
arm
both
is like
arms, bro. We got
Actually,
both of them.
way more sore than what I was expecting.
Than your
just
right
from
arm?
doing. Yeah, because
Or your left arm?
no, yeah,
Oh,
only
yeah, you
right.
didn't
'Cause
do the
I
left
only
arm.
did. I only
yeah,
did the right one.
dude,
so
that's
I
why
have
we're all good. We
to
got
do
both
stupid
arms.
stuff.
You gotta get both of them.
God,
You still got the rest of the night, bro. You can
yeah, it's
probably
all right.
Hit 20 or so pull-ups.
We're gonna be all incredibly tired tomorrow, but that's fine.
Well, I mean,
You guys are playing tomorrow, man. It's gonna be hot.
Man. Peter's gonna be more tired than I am, dude. I have to.
You have to drive Claire still, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It'll be
kinda pretty
fine.
degenerate, but well, you
okay.
didn't drink as
Are
much
you just
whiskey.
gonna soup
so-
up on caffeine the entire
Yeah, I'm
day
gonna
and
have
then
coffee
take
at,
and
like,
then
3.
crash after
You need
church?
some eye drops?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a coffee at like 3,
Oh yeah,
3:30 or so, and
dude,
then,
I'm still expecting this to be a hype freaking worship service tomorrow with you guys playing. It's gonna be
I'm
freaking
excited
hype.
to
Bro.
play.
If you play the beat, I'm gonna be hype.
Oh man, you know I'm about to play that
if you
beat
play
tomorrow.
If you play some riffs, I'm gonna be hype.
Yeah.
Some licks.
I'll play some licks in the service.
Dude, yeah, you
Make it a
guys-
little spicy.
Yeah, dude.
I was experimenting with the beat today, so
Okay.
we'll throw it in.
Experimenting.
No,
What are you gonna
I'll
throw
hear
in
it,
there?
bro. If nobody else hears it, I will.
There's a
So you got someone to play it for.
you're right.
It'll be sick.
There's a crazy beat that I learned that I throw into worship songs whenever I play service.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah, it's from our Periphery song we were listening to like
Yeah.
way back in
So-
when we started
Oh,
lifting
really?
in junior high.
there's a metal song that has this crazy beat that goes over the bar line. It's a nice polyrhythmic beat, but it's pretty square as well. Like it lands on 4. But so like we'll be able to do it. Hold on, what does that say, Peter?
It's just a pickle necklace.
Do what's up?
Trying to impress a girl.
Dang.
I mean, yeah, of course.
With the pickle necklace?
Every day.
You know what they say about that big slice.
Do we sell
I'm just
pickle
kidding.
necklaces on the podcast?
We can. Pickle Rick.
You heard it here first, folks.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle necklace at this point.
Oh, pickle necklace.
Yeah. Aaron,
Anyways,
what's our
welcome to episode
yeah.
19 of the Actually Nothing podcast.
Are we at only 19?
Only 19
I'm
because we've been slacking.
I'm
a
kind
little
of
bit.
sad we're not at a straight 20
It's
by
fine.
the end of this one.
We took some time.
Our last one was hype though.
It was pretty.
It was.
We talked
And
about
by the
China.
time we're recording this, I
Like,
still
all
haven't
this-
put it out, and it's been like 2 months.
But it is
Since
going to be
what?
somewhat YouTube safe.
Yeah,
We can actually
safe
put it out.
enough. Yeah, I'm doing a good job moderating it. So
Okay.
it's fine. Don't worry, Dan.
All right.
I cut out all your horrible, incredibly racist.
Oh no, not racist. Come on, bro. It's not
I'm just
racist.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Or maybe am I? I don't know.
No, come on.
You guys will have to listen to the episode 18 to figure out if that was a
No
real thing or not.
outtakes.
Yeah, that's like the
Bro,
best
no
incentive you
outtakes.
need for anything is like, oh, find out if Dan's a racist. Listen to our last episode, you know?
But if anybody,
But we got censorship. So
yeah. But for
you
those who
gotta
are
have
listening to this,
evidence.
you might notice that our voices are significantly higher quality. I kind of got to figure out we should figure out the positioning maybe better, because like I feel like having it hang at the top is like blocking our view from actually seeing each
Do
other.
you want to look at me while
a
you
little bit.
talk?
I mean, you can hang it up, but well, I don't know. We'll figure that out. But now that I'm not broke, I spent money and we have like a proper setup. So
Yeah.
we're all going to sound pretty good now, hopefully.
See, I was banking on explaining to the listeners that we just upped our quality because we matured as people
Oh, yeah.
over
Ooh.
2019.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's going to be the topic, the central topic of today. So I was thinking New Year's.
What a segue.
New Year's revolution is what I'm going to
Clean,
call
bro.
it. So we did.
Well, it's not New Year yet.
I know, but by the time this comes up, it'll either be on New Year's or like somewhere in January, because I'm going to be slow about it.
yeah,
It's okay.
petition to dock that from the official record.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
raise your
alright,
hand.
alright.
But me, Dan, and JP, we earlier this year we did an episode on our current situation in 2019 which was at the beginning of the year, and then how we sent a message to ourselves at the end of 2019, right?
Hmm.
So I wanted
Has it been about a year, right?
yeah.
Since our very
When we
first
did
one?
that episode, it was like February or January or something.
Interesting. Okay.
So I wanted to see, granted, it's not like we can listen to it. Well, we can't listen to it right now, but let's just think about how we were compared to the beginning of the year to how we were now.
I feel like the advice I would have given myself like 11 or 12 months ago is don't be an idiot. And I think
I'm pretty sure that is exactly what you said.
I think that's probably the same advice I would give myself, but maybe I'd augment that a little bit. But we can find out in a second.
Yeah, we'll dive into that shortly. But also, we have Peter finally back for possibly a complete episode. I don't know if you have to go drop Claire off at the airport. No, you said like 4, right?
Yeah.
time.
No, we're good. Peter, say hi.
Peter's here.
20.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
In any case, I'm Aaron.
There you-
JP's over there. Dan's still here, and Peter's here. We got four people for this one because this is a nice little special episode since all of us are here finally.
The holiday quartet, I like to call
Let's
it.
go.
But yeah, I was
Just
thinking,
the precursor to our barbershop quartet, which you can find sometime in the future.
you guys want to try like a
Yeah.
dry run of the barbershop quartet?
What are we singing?
I don't know. We don't have to sing. I think we can just just sing a note. Who starts? You got the low. You or Peter should
Peter's got
start.
the low
since you guys
note.
got the bass.
All right.
Give us a low, man.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh my god.
It's been a while, bro.
That was like 4 notes.
I was waiting till the freaking Three
He's like
Stooges, they
he's
said hello.
calibrating his note.
Okay, fine. Calibrate. Just
All right,
don't
I'm
laugh
taking
this
a
time.
shot. I'm done. No quartet this episode.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Next time we're gonna do you know that one video on YouTube that's like the lowest bass of all time, and it's a guy who hits the fucking huge flat.
Oh, I have. seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's the rainbow or something like that. It's called rainbow.wwav or something.
You've seen this enough to know the title.
That's
of-
just the.
No, it's just called lowest bass in the world.
I thought it was called rainbow.wave, and so I was just having that in my watch later
Oh,
list
yeah.
at all times. Wow.
Ready?
What note is that?
Descend.
Oh, he descends down to C as well.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And for anyone who doesn't know the video, that looks like a fucking maniac too while he does it. Like his eyes widen at the lowest note he can hit.
It goes so high afterwards.
Yeah, it's insane. This guy's definitely like a sociopath or something.
I feel like this is old enough where we won't get DMCA'd for playing it. So I'm gonna play the clip. It's fine.
I think the clip is also just there's too much interference. No one's gonna recognize it and be able to copyright us for that.
that's true.
And if you do, kudos to you.
I still want to
Yeah,
do the
that clip's
quartet.
tight.
Dan, fine. If you don't want to get into it, let's do a triplet.
Oh, a trio.
Trio. I don't know why I call it triplet.
with 2 T's maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine, Peter, you go. Dan, you can adapt if you can.
A rainbow shining.
Shining down.
Buy our album. We're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Sing a note, and then we'll all harmonize off of it.
Hello.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
All right,
Not bad.
sweet. Okay,
Yeah, I
first
feel like
rehearsal
Chip
over.
Skylark.
Dang, dude.
My shiny teeth and me.
Shiny teeth, shiny teeth.
Thanks. Okay, that should be the first one we do.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, tune in next time to hear Chip
We'll make
Skylark's
a full
shiny
cover of it.
teeth. Yeah, honestly, that's how we'll open it.
Oh, you guys want to do shout outs?
Oh, we should
per
do
usual?
shoutouts. Yes, as per usual. Aaron, you go first.
All right. I promised. I know last time before this came out, I said I was going to shout out my U of I friends that so graciously hung out with me last time I came down to visit. So Carissa, Leah, Ben, Kyle, Andrew, Esteban, and Bugsy. Love you guys. And this is
Wow.
your shout out. So if you guys
Thank
ever
you.
listen to this, if you ever do, here you go. You guys are officially a part of the podcast. So
Thank you. The name drop.
thank you.
That was the crewiest crew I've ever heard.
It
Any
is.
crew with the name
That's a
Bugsy-
crew.
With any,
Oh,
any
and
crew with
Elise.
the name
Sorry, I almost forgot Elise.
Bugsy. That's
any crew with the name Bugsy in it.
Yeah, or like an acronym,
yeah,
like-
it automatically makes it like the crewiest crew or some type of like mafia crew.
Or if you say like D Tabor or something, it's like
D-Tabor.
my boy D Tabor,
D-Tabs.
Aaron JP. It's like an acronym.
Tabby baby.
It stands
Baby,
for something.
baby. That's what Nikov called me.
Yeah.
All right, Japes,
Baby.
who's your shout out to?
My shout out. I got a lot of shout outs. I got Peter
Thanks,
going to the
dude.
DMA. That's
There you
awesome. I got Dan getting
What's
another
the
job.
DMA?
Dungeon Master asshole.
That's
Yeah.
pretty hype, bro.
Dude.
How'd you get into that one?
Peter Dungeon Master asshole.
Master
Yeah.
asshole, bro.
Wowski.
Wow. Let me tell you, man.
See, I got my MA I got my master asshole, but I don't have the dungeon. I don't have the dungeon part yet.
You don't know.
No, not yet. So
I'm
you're
not allowed
getting
to
that.
talk about what happens in the dungeon, but
We got Dan getting a new job. Aaron's got another job.
Oh yeah.
What's it?
We got
Kathy
some-
got into school. It's
There you go.
excellent.
Wow, a lot of
MIT,
life
dude.
events going on, huh?
Yeah, Kelby just finished finals, her first
Dang.
semester of
There
law
we
school.
go.
So it's like it's a crazy time. It's a good time for everyone.
It
so
is.
yeah, lots of good things. Lots of shout outs to everyone.
Dan, who's you got a shout out this time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any particular shouts this
That's
time
fine.
around. It's
Really? Nothing?
Shout out to yourself.
shout out
Yeah,
to
shout out to
You got
Dan.
your other job hookup. That's
Yeah, I got
that's
my new
worth a
job,
shout.
man.
So shout
It's
out.
been going well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pierre, you got a shout out.
yeah, I'll shout out to Clara sleeping upstairs.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
the girlfriend. That's cute.
If you hear this now or later, don't hate me.
You're the best. I hope she doesn't mistakenly think that's my voice saying that. Because, I mean, if you listen to our voices on like a telephone, they're pretty indistinguishable,
Yeah, jeez.
right? That's the worst part is that.
No, I mean,
We'll
I would
see.
be able to tell, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, how long
But
have you
we're
known
like
us, though?
we're like right here. I'm wondering like if on a recording it'll sound. I don't know. I'll make it different.
It just gives me so many more
Yeah,
opportunities to
temperament,
make
Give me tons
incriminating
of bass,
statements.
please. Make me sound
I'm
deep
gonna
as
make your,
fuck. Also,
gonna
like
make
Morgan
your voice
Freeman.
so bassy it just blows out everyone's.
It's all the
ears.
computer voices.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have the bassiest voice for the fucking dungeon master.
I just want to
man.
sound like
Like a demon.
If it doesn't sound demonic and or robotic, it doesn't work.
Yeah. You want to jump into like how we were earlier in the year compared to now?
So let's compare it to our January
Okay.
2019 selves.
oh shoot.
I don't remember.
Dan, I specifically remember you were saying that because I remember we
This is
said
January
January, February,
Yeah.
earlier in the year. I
Okay.
remember that we were
2019.
Yeah, we were trying to give ourselves like what advice or what would you tell yourself at the end of 2019
Mm.
as you early in 2019.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure yours you said be less lazy.
Yeah. I
So do you think you upheld that standard that you gave yourself?
think I was like 50% of the way there. I was
Okay.
like a little bit less lazy for like a stretch of time, but then I like relapsed a little bit and got lazy again. So I would say 50% of the year, like I made a better effort to be less lazy. And then if you're hitting it with like 50%, that's some way of the way there. So you get compound interest on that still. If you make 50% improvement over year to year, you know, it's possible that you're doing better. So I would say I'm doing better than I was earlier.
I mean, an effort's still an effort, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and I think you're a lot less lazy, I would say, than you were maybe last year.
Yeah.
I don't remember you being specifically very lazy, but I don't think you're lazy now. So
Yeah, definitely. I made some improvements. You know, I started budgeting crap like that. You know,
nice.
working out more. But then you know, it's like getting into the habit of it is it takes a lot of time. So you got to go throughout the course of the years.
There's like
Yeah, I would say I'm doing better.
there's like a saying we have in teaching music, and a lot of people will say that like practice makes perfect. I think the flaw in the reasoning is that there's not so much practice makes perfect as much as if you practice it, it just becomes a permanent part of what you do.
Ooh,
And so I was told early on that practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent.
ooh,
And so just the constant practice of something will always like at least help you engender it regularly. And so as long as you're doing it, as long as you keep practicing it, it'll become a lot more regular as more as you do it.
ooh.
So
Okay.
Like you said, making like a constant schedule and
Mm.
repeatedly doing it over and over again. Because like the first time you do anything, it's hard and challenging, right? And you're like, I'm not entirely sure if I can do this long term. But if you can just keep forcing yourself to do it over and over again, you fall into a rhythm. And then I guess by your definition, you become less lazy because then it's like a thing you don't have to think so hard about, right?
That's true.
It just becomes
Yeah,
second
the
nature at some
efficiency
point.
picks
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
and a lot of times becoming less lazy with yourself also involves a lot of self-care as well. You know, it's like taking care of your budget or taking care of other things like that is really it's on you to do it.
Mm.
And by doing it, you're taking care of yourself. And I think a lot of people, especially when they're going through school, tend to just forget about those things, or it's not something you've learned about up until that point, or you just like, I don't know, you don't feel like you have time to do it.
Yeah.
And so like once you figure out, oh, I need to do these things, it becomes like part of your routine, and you don't have to do it so much, or you don't have to think so much about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Just doing it repeatedly over time, making
Yeah.
a habit out of it.
What about you, Japes? How do you think you fared against yourself compared to the beginning of the year?
I'm trying to remember what my advice to myself was outside of don't be stupid. Because that's just like my advice all the time is like, don't be an idiot. Like try your very best not to be dumb at all. But I think that's just like a hard thing to keep up with. But I don't know. I think generally like I did pretty okay. There's been a lot of change, and so like that's kind of a big deal. But also like I think that change is only for the better. And so like I think at the beginning of the year I had all these expectations about what I was going to do this year, and I had this idea that being really smart and working only diligently on that was the prime way to get there. But I think what I realized like not earlier but later this year was the importance of doing all these really small things that help you out. So like, you know, thinking about going and taking care of yourself, like going and I don't know, if you like, for instance, I've had problems with like psoriasis and dermatitis. And so like I got that fixed. I went to a doctor and saw a doctor to fix it. And previously I just never gone to see anyone because I'm like, I don't have time or money to do this. And then I think finally I was like, I should take care of this right away. And so that priority of like the self, and instead of being in a program that revolved around me working constantly and ignoring the self, like trying to take care of what I need in my body now. And that's really changed a lot of what I'm doing. And so like, I think I appreciate that a lot more than I did like maybe earlier this year. I think another thing too is I think earlier this year I had been so gung ho about like doing research and about being a researcher. And then just like early fall and getting into fall when I was applying, I just sort of like became disillusioned with the whole process. And it was one of those like moments where I was like, I could spend years doing this, or I can cut my losses now and like think about a better path and not feel so confined. And I think that was like
was that from what you were studying anyway? Because you were studying the critical theory, right?
Yeah, I started doing that, but I realized
critical theory.
Yeah, and I liked studying that, but the problem was when I was getting into it, I felt like I started losing my sense of self as I was like trying to compromise and become more I guess applicable to other scenarios. Like I couldn't apply to schools without adapting really well. And these were things that I wasn't expecting to find or to need. And so now you
realized you probably didn't want to go through with that.
It's like if you have to change yourself so much to make something work, like you might not be worth it.
Interesting.
It might not be worth your like personal or mental health or even your career to do that. And so I think I'm kind of commending myself for making the switch and for deciding like this isn't the thing you want to be doing and thinking that far ahead. So I think I'll pat myself on the back.
But ironically, was that from what you were studying that you realized that you shouldn't be studying the path that you're currently studying?
No. So like when I was trying to study musicology, I think like I had
critical theory.
Oh, critical theory was part of musicology. It's not like necessarily a part. It's just as studying it became part, and that's a part of the study that was necessitated by practice.
So you wouldn't call it ironic then that
No, I don't think
you
it's
got
ironic.
out of your field because of what you were exactly studying.
No, it just became a point where I realized I was like, I'm not this person. And to realize that and then not go through with a huge action like dedicating yourself to a PhD in which you wouldn't feel very fulfilled the entire time. I think that's like a smart decision on my part. And
it is a smart decision.
Yeah, and we talked earlier in this year about like not feeling bad when you have to change orientation. And failure is merely just a way of reorienting yourself. Like you can't figure out the best way of doing something without going through to the end and failing and then figuring out that you need to reorient and do something else. So I think like that's the best outcome that could have happened out of this. And so I don't think that I did anything stupid. And I think I actually fulfilled my goal of not being an idiot, and so it's cool to look back on that now. Like, my entire mindset was somewhere else, and now it's like different now, and I'm in a different direction, but I think I'm a lot better because of it.
Good.
Yeah.
You would say that you're in a better position than you are, or you're in a better position now than you were at the beginning there, or at least than what you projected yourself to be at, right?
Yeah, I think I expected to be really confident in what I was doing, but really in the middle of October, I was like, I'm not confident in all in this decision. And so like acting on that like sense of uncertainty and then deciding on a path that would lead me to certainty was a better decision. And so it's a complete, it's almost like pulling the rug from under me. I wasn't expecting this at all. And so But so that's where I'm at, and I think when we talk about like our goals for the following year, it'll also play into that as well later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Clean, man. Good.
Thanks. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Always good to like pay attention to your like mental health and to yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. I think a lot of academia really bases itself in working yourself to the bone
Mhm.
and then not even considering how you feel about it,
Ooh.
not considering like if this is comfortable. It's just work. I met a few people who were in doctoral programs, and what they had said is like, you know, basically
Indian? Like, were the Indian people?
No. I was
So, like, the Indian father, you know, they're like, hey, be a doctor.
not
Be
like
that-
not like a medical doctor.
No?
No,
Wasn't
like
it a
you know,
medical
Means
like,
having your doctorate.
yeah, like different
Oh.
doctoral programs. Like I had met people in art who were doing like art doctorates or other things like that, and what they had said is like with academia, like. Yeah, not medical doctors. And I mean, medical doctors may fall into this umbrella, but not totally.
Okay.
But what they had said is that,
Dude, that was Russell Peters, man. He was like, dude, I don't want to have an Indian doctor because they don't want to be fucking Indian doctors. It's just their parents telling them to be an Indian doctor.
I mean, that's part of it too. It's like, don't let any sort of preconception tell you how to, guide your career. But it's the same thing. It's like academia really tells you like you have to be the best in your field. And you have to be working constantly so you can be the best in your field. And to some degree, that's the same with all artistic endeavors. At least, stereotyped artistic endeavors like music and art, where you have to be constantly working at your craft in order to get better. But I think that tends to like really overlook your sense of taking care of yourself, and that's not a good thing. Because if you have to continuously live where you're not taking care of yourself at all, I mean, that's not a sustainable lifestyle, right? And so that'll play into something that we talk about later, but it's good to experience the upside of this at this point. Even if like all like things are slowly being set in motion, I feel confident in their ability to at least play out in a different way.
That's
Ooh.
good.
Yeah.
Being on a surefire path is probably comforting mentally, which will just make the rest of the journey along the way easier and less doubtful.
Yeah. And I mean, nothing is ever so certain and things can
Yeah.
change so quickly, but I think there's a sense of ease like personally with that as well, that I can at least trust what I'm doing right now as being for a better purpose.
Yeah, there you go.
And so that's always positive for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you're helping out Kelby with her law stuff anyway, right?
I'm doing what I can as a good partner. And so like she does all the hard like intellectual movement and then like all that work, studying and like dedicating herself to it. I do all like the
The
I make-
papers.
well, no. She does all that. I just make sure like the cooking is good, that like house is clean.
Oh, you're the housewife.
Yeah, and
The
that-
environment. The
yeah.
environment is good.
Yeah, you
Oh,
gotta.
okay.
You can't study you can't study hard unless your like environment is great, right? You know, like I don't know about you, but like I personally just can't do things when I know like my house is a fucking wreck.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and so like
Set your house in order.
yeah, and so like I make sure that things are ready to go. I make sure that everything is comfortable. That we don't have any worries outside of like immediate studying worries. And so she does that. I do my own thing, but so I just support her is all it is. But she does all the all of her schoolwork is like crazy, and so
Wow.
yeah.
Does she like it?
Yeah, she's having a great time. And
Okay.
so I think this is the right choice for her. She made a good decision like right out of the bat. And so she'll just keep doing what she does.
Nice.
Yeah. Peter, what about you?
Yeah, you weren't on that episode. Let's just compare yourself to how you were earlier in the year and what your thought on
Earlier in the year. Oh man, earlier in the year I was working at a food court, man.
There you go.
Really?
So yeah, dude.
Until when?
In the summer, man, and even in the beginning until not till August, dude. So I feel like it's a big step up, man. Like
Definitely it's a big step.
now I teach I got 4 classes that I teach, and I teach at Melody. I got like 25 students there. It's a good amount,
Okay.
Great amount.
So the pay is not as good as Chicago. It's about like half the rate as Chicago. So it's kind of not good in that regard, but it's still pretty good,
Yeah.
Like went from having like a job that I was
It's
just
better than food court.
yeah, dude, and it's career related too. And paid, like a little better. So pretty good actually. Just like teaching a lot. Yeah, man, but I like it. It's the life, man. I just like if I didn't have to pay for school, it'd be really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, you weren't a master of music either, but now you are.
Yeah, well, I guess in the spring I will be.
Spring.
Yeah,
So-
Okay.
spring.
But yeah, dude. So we'll see how it goes. Actually, I might spend some time in Bloomington. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's pretty easy.
Busking too, right?
Sometimes, yeah, and gigs too pay pretty well.
Okay.
So, but hopefully I could just have an in. I'm just gonna try to present like a sort of business model to college or
Definitely.
something like that. Something to do with guitar, like implement a guitar program or something like that.
Do you still have a lot online?
Online? What do you mean?
Like just crap online?
I have a website, and then I have an Instagram.
Do you want to plug it right now? I'll put the link.
You can.
Yeah, let's
if
do
you
it.
I
want.
think that's
What is
how
it?
you get big.
Yeah, well, I'm not even trying to get big. Just trying to get the degree.
Get the degree
compete
for
in
now.
some
Okay, that's
competitions, hopefully.
Mm.
But that's the biggest thing. Just do those two things.
What's
Keep my
the
connections
link?
really good.
Yeah, what's the link?
PeterPodowski.com.
Okay, there you
Peter
go.
Fernandez.
Yeah, I website.
Check it out in the description. We'll put it out. I'll put it out.
Mm-hmm.
What were your like expectations at the beginning of this year for yourself now?
Definitely to not be working at a food court.
So
good.
you really fulfilled
Yeah.
that. Then.
I fulfilled it
There you
to
go.
be doing only career related things, which is kind of what I do now. It's kind of cool lifestyle.
Mm.
Like nothing that I ever do is like not related to guitar. Actually, everything is
Okay.
related to, or everything's related to music. It's very interesting. Like the only thing that's not is like cooking, which is like the best part of the day. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
You're
dude, cooking
right?
breakfast in the morning, dude.
What do you
There's-
cook?
Oh man, skillet, sweet potato hash browns.
Mm.
Hey, you made some of that for us. when we were-
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
we were
Yeah,
down
I
there,
made it for you guys there too.
Sausage was good,
Scrambles
too.
all the time. Kodiak pancakes too with like blueberries in them.
Kodiak pancake?
Yeah, they're like protein pancakes.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. I think breakfast is the best meal to cook. Then the rest of the day is just like tragic. I don't know. Yeah,
I think that's a
Yeah,
big step up though. Like
You're an egg guy. You know,
definitely like being very responsible though.
Bro, I miss when you make freaking breakfast. You made the tortilla with
Yeah,
the freaking
dude.
cheese, and then
Dude,
you got the
can you
meat
believe
on
me
there.
and Dan used to go to export at 5 a.m. in high school?
no, what the hell
Five-
was that?
like,
That was
before
hype,
school?
bro.
Yeah.
Good God.
We'd wake up at 5, go to export, get a
Before
workout.
jazz band, because that was an open period,
Jazz
which
band
was
was at 7.
an hour earlier, so it started at 7 a.m.
I don't know how you guys can do that.
Yeah, we
I
did it a
don't
few
remember.
Yeah.
But that was pretty hype. We
It
did
was
it.
hype, man. Because then you feel good for the whole day.
Mhm.
You're like, I already got a workout in before anything. You're
Yeah,
in jazz band, you're feeling like a pump. In jazz band, your fingers are flying on the fretboard. You're like, oh shoot.
You took a little too much pre-workout, so you're just
Yeah,
shredding.
we're
on it.
still late somehow.
Yeah.
We've been up for 3 hours, but we're still late in jazz band. He's like, paper.
Tabor.
But so I think that's a big difference or a big step because if I remember your job with the food court, you'd just been cooking for like years, right?
Dude, I've been on this grill.
Do you think it like transfer?
Omelets,
They
dude.
like transfer some skills over to your regular
Oh,
everyday cooking?
Definitely, man. Like,
No, that's clean. That's a good skill.
But
Yeah,
so
man.
like, what do you do now? If you can tell, because we don't have you regularly on the show, so we don't know what you do. Or
you mean like my day to day, or
yeah, like what do you normally do now?
Oh, dude. So I
I
So,
breathe, I poop, I
yeah.
pee.
Poo eater.
sometimes I drink water.
You don't eat
Dude,
poo.
sometimes.
But
Me too.
Yeah, I wake up, try to get a good practice session in,
Hmm.
and then I go to class usually. Then I teach like my class sections. Then I go teach at Melody, and then yeah, that's all. And then in the summer at the night, I'll usually try to bust and like play for some tips
That's good.
because usually it's like kind of fun.
If you guys are in the Indiana area, specifically on the IU campus, where can we find you? In front of
Oh,
The
upstairs.
brothers.
There you go.
Upstairs.
Yeah, although like some guy tripped on my cable one time and he wanted to sue me.
Like, serious?
Yeah, I plugged into an outlet and he like tripped on the cable.
You're like one of those insurance fraud guys.
Well, I don't know. He tried to get a picture of me like taking the plug out, and I was like, I mean,
What a dickhead.
yeah. Well,
He was trying to
they
sue
said
you?
it was cool. Like the pizza place that we plugged into said it was fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's fine. I guess maybe we'll just tape it to the ground next time.
Okay.
Did
Wow.
you
Yeah,
smile
Yeah, you
for
don't
the
want
photo?
people
Yeah.
No, I was just
actually
confused.
having a reason to sue you, so make
like,
sure
man,
you
we're
know
just-
the law.
Yeah,
If you know it, then it's like whatever. But this
yeah.
dude's just a dickhead. Like, if he's got a valid reason, then if you
Yeah,
can
I
avoid
gotta
it,
make
then
sure,
make
yeah.
sure you have the counter
Did he look
action
homeless?
to
Nobody's
avoid
gonna
it.
fucking sue you for like tripping over a wire.
Well, we've done it a million times, but it happened once.
That's
know?
right, and he
Mhm.
didn't get injured, right?
No.
Who's gonna fucking sue you for that?
Maybe you should just tell him to get
Well,
off his ass
dude,
and
this is
stop
why you
having
become
two
a
left
lawyer.
feet.
This is such bullshit.
This is why, dude, be his lawyer.
Nobody's gonna do shit like that.
You
Like,
can be his lawyer.
Kelby's
Yeah.
going through law school. She'll fight for you.
yeah,
Kelby Kashi.
Yeah.
that one guy is gonna come back in like 5 years, and you're gonna need someone.
Yeah.
Call Kelby. 22220 222.
Yeah. So I want to busk again though, because it's such good money.
Yeah.
It probably is, right?
Yeah, dude. Some nights we'll make like over 100 each, man.
Wow.
That's good.
Do you take
Just for a
requests
night?
or something that people
Whatever
like?
people are drunkenly walking across and yelling for.
Dang, dude. That's
But on-
hype.
But only that. If they're sober, they don't.
Yeah. You're like, here, can you please
Is it all
blow into this
free bird?
breathalyzer? If you're not
God,
blowing a
Billie
0.1 or
Eilish.
more,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
sorry,
Old Town
can't get your
Road.
song.
Dude,
We play all the meme hits, dude.
I bet, but you
The
probably...
Office theme song,
People want
SpongeBob
that.
theme. I play the me song, the we song. I'll do it.
There you go.
I'm gonna do that in church tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, during the meet and greet.
Throw a
everyone
lick in
needs
Dude,
to
and
tell
be
me
there,
right now,
dude.
what do you plan to bust out in church?
The meal like.
The Milan? You're
Instead
going to
of
bust out the butter
tithes and
snips.
offerings, just do
then-
that. Just busk in the middle of the.
Is there anything else
service.
you plan on busting out?
Some stuff I learned from the Dungeon Master.
Dungeon Master?
Dungeon Master asshole?
How
Yeah.
about some jazz licks? I want to hear some jazz
I'll play
licks,
some
man.
Jazz lick.
How
I'll
about
throw
you,
some
JP?
super stupidly complicated lick. Yeah.
I'm
Don't
gonna
even do
bet
the
on that
entire me
tomorrow.
song. Just do the da, 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 or just do the da, 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 and people will get that.
I think I want to start bartending like 1 or 2 nights a week.
Bartending.
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
because then I could learn all the drinks. I could learn how to mix all the cocktails, and then
You
like
could do that. You could do it by yourself too, though.
Yeah, you can.
I know, but
Google.
like you
We
get
got
paid to do it.
YouTube.
You get paid huge money at IU, dude, because the like all the people go to the bars, and you always get at least like $1 or $2.
you got to
per, like,
wear a
drink you
low cut
make.
top to show off your cleavage, so that all the dudes will
Yeah.
get your drink.
Well,
Cleavage, bro.
I mean, as long as I made it fast and like, good ratio,
Well, you
I
gotta
mean,
respect the grind.
and then just learning the drinks would be a fun endeavor,
I bet.
Like
Yeah, but I
just-
mean, like, how many times do you have to learn how to make a cheap vodka tonic?
no,
Moscow
but like
Mule.
I don't know, it would just be a fun. It's very lucrative, man.
I bet it's lucrative,
And-
but I'm
and
not saying it's
people-
enjoyable.
People offer up like $100 for their shift, because they're that valuable.
Wow.
Like when they need a sub for it.
Yeah.
Dude, the McDonald's grind was the worst.
It was the
job
worst.
ever. Yeah, can't believe I worked there.
But honestly, those jobs are really important, though.
Definitely.
Like, you got to
Yeah.
figure out that, like, if you want to not do that job, you got to like grind a lot harder.
Oh, yeah. I remember one of the jobs. I went for this Medline job. That was like one of the recent jobs. And then the lady said that she appreciated the customer service, stuff that you would get from Meyer. And then she looked at experience on my resume that I worked at Meyer for 5 years. And then she was like, hey, that's good experience. And then that looks like you were able to work with customers and you were able to take stuff like that. And it was
And take a
actually a
job
positive.
seriously.
Yeah, it was a positive thing on the resume.
Yeah, I ought to say that about like IU Dining, that I've worked for them for like 6 years,
You learn a lot from
Yeah.
doing that stuff.
and it looks really good to
Can't
like
take it
stay
for
with even,
granted.
like a company,
A lot of times when you have those jobs too, I feel as if there's lots of time to self-reflect. And so
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and so there's a lot of time to be really
Dude.
miserable in those jobs, but like at the same time, you like are forcing yourself out of the position because
I
you don't
feel
want to
that.
be that miserable anymore.
dude. And
Yeah.
there's so much time for thought, dude. And like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
could
I
be
was
standing with
working at Meyer,
coworkers and
too.
you'll all just be thinking. You don't even have to talk. You
Wow.
cool with it.
I can't
It's just
even
like a
imagine that
1,000-yard
dynamic.
stare. Everyone's just
Sitting,
like,
Everyone's just waiting for customers. We're all just like standing, like 3 of us, just like not saying anything. Everyone's just
wow. And you're just realizing like, hey, this is probably not the gig
and then if
for
you
a long term.
you just talk about how much the job sucks. And I'm like-
Wow.
and you're like, oh man, I really don't feel like doing this. And they'll be like, dude, fucking same.
Wow.
Or like you go off and say like, I'm about to go like,
Off
myself
myself.
food.
No, I'm kidding.
that's what I was thinking too.
dude, me and my buddy, we used to like come up with the craziest creations. So we had hamburgers, right? But we also had pasta. And I was like, fuck, we gotta make a meatball sub. And like we made it, and I was like, and I threw bacon on it. He was like, ooh. He always be like, that's a power move.
Power move.
Yeah, dude. There were so many.
You guys
power
would make
moves.
the best meal, JP. I remember you made the freaking senior breakfast.
Oh, dude, senior
And then we
breakfast
made
was
some
great.
freaking corn tortillas and
Yeah.
some freaking cheese and some freaking
Dude.
meat, and it was hype.
I took 2 yeast donuts, put them on the grill, buttered them up, put some egg, sausage, and cheese, and like spinach, some bacon, and then it's between 2 donuts, dude.
Dude, both of you guys are good cooks.
It's
I don't know how you did
crazy,
it.
dude. It's,
JP
it's like,
Phoebe.
you know, when you have so many ingredients all for yourself, it's like you can literally do anything. Like you can make a quesadilla like with pepperoni and mozzarella in it, and you have like a pizza case. It's like you could. The possibilities are endless. Wow, it's so stupid, but like
Become a chef at a cooking hall is what the message is now.
tiny hall.
Dang,
Yeah,
you just
no, dude.
That's how you learn how to cook.
Possibilities are endless.
Hey, you
This
just
is
learn
Peter's
how to cook.
contribution.
That's the endless of the possibilities. You just learn how to freaking cook, but it's a great thing.
Yeah,
So at least like whatever food you work at.
Yeah, go from flipping burgers and
Yeah,
you be the
dude.
president of the United States.
When I was- Dude,
Aaron,
when I
did
was
you-
making sandwiches, it was good.
Aaron, did you ever have like a shitty job like that you worked?
I mean, Benny's was kind of
Oh yeah,
that
Benny's.
for me. The location that I was at was where a lot of like prissy rich people lived,
Okay.
like prissy rich old
Did
people
any of them
lived.
order spirituous? The
Yeah.
freaking 98%
So
freaking
I had to deal with them a lot. I did get hit on by like some like 70-year-old cougar lady,
Ew.
and I thought that only happened in like TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
And then when the situation happened in real life, I was like, "What the fuck? I don't know how to
But
deal
you
with
can't just say that and then not explain.
Okay,
Like,
so-
what did she say to you?
When people order a lot of wine, you have to
Okay.
put it in boxes, right? And then you have to help them out with their boxes because their old, frail bones can't lift it themselves to their cars.
Oh yeah,
They need
carry
the
out,
help-
carry out.
Yeah, they
That's
need
what
the
it
help
was
of
at
a
mine.
young, strong man like myself to help them out.
Stud.
Yeah. So while I was helping this lady out to her car and putting like her like 12, no joke, like 10 cases of wine into
Damn,
her car.
bro, that's
it was
a
ridic-
lot.
I'm not kidding
Was
you.
it the box wine?
Yeah. Well, no. It was like a box of 12 bottles of wine, which would
Holy
be one
sh-
box. And she had
That's
like 10 of them.
excessive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I said, old rich people, and that's
Did she
all
have
they spend their
cats,
money
too?
on. I don't know, dude. But I was
Stick around to find out.
Okay.
I was loading all these boxes in the car, right? And then while I'm in the middle of doing this, she goes, "So my husband's out of town and I could really use your help at home." And then I look at her and she's just like smiling at me and I go, "Yeah." I finished loading the boxes and then I walked back into the store without saying a word.
Oh my god.
And then
That's fucked up.
and then I had to like, I didn't process it at the time when it happened to me. And then I just went, "Oh my God, this lady actually like tried to get me to go home with her." I was like, "Holy shit, I didn't think this was a real thing."
Oh my god.
But like there are some thirsty ass old cougar ladies that are out there. I was like, "I don't know, lady, you're like 60 years too late on that. I'm sorry."
Oh,
I was gonna ask, did you hit her up?
No, not even.
Dang. I mean, now you know
might
it's
be
an
profitable,
option. I
though.
mean,
But it's a
Sugar
real thing that
daddies,
happened to
sugar
me.
mamas.
So
yeah. Why did you think about that, dude?
The
what if she was like an undercover cop or something? She was trying to get me. For something.
What undercover cop is looking for like that type of criminal? Is that even a criminal? Like, ooh, an infidel, like a person who's
I'm going to
cheating
commit
on.
adultery.
What is that called? An adulterer? Yeah,
Adulterer, yeah.
Is that even like illegal nowadays? I think in
don't think
certain
so.
You
states.
still get
Yeah, the
stoned
penalty
for
is
it,
death
bro.
by stoning.
Yeah, stoning.
Yeah. No, but yeah,
Jeez.
that was my one occurrence of getting preyed upon by a cougar. It was very strange.
Yeah, I feel like I admire this freaking old woman. They like want you to get their freaking green peppers for them, and then it's like,
Whoa, what is that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, they wanted
bro.
your green pepper,
You know?
Dan.
Yeah, they want my green freaking pepper, bro.
I really hate how cryptic that is.
That's
That could be
fucked up.
really anything at this point.
I failed the 2 mystery shops at Meyer.
What?
The what?
The mystery shop. So they'd have some rando come into the store, and then it'd be like, "Hey, where are the water bottles at?" And then you'd have to walk them over to the water bottles. But I was like, I got to do my job in the produce section, man. I'm trying to like fill up these tomatoes that there's no tomatoes here. Like customers are gonna be pissed off they don't have tomatoes. But apparently I'm supposed to walk this lady all the way over to the water bottle section because she's asking me where's the water bottles at. I was like, "Hey, screw that, man. I'm trying to fill up tomatoes here."
So what did you say?
So I
Fuck
was
off.
like, "They're in aisle 8, which is the exact aisle which where they're at." And then it's like, hey, a normal person would be like, "Hey, okay, I can just walk over to aisle 8, get my water bottle, and then get the freak out of here." But, you know, instead she was like, "Hey, screw this guy. You know, he's filling the mystery shop."
Oh, so it was like an undercover boss type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
But
That's
it's a
just
mystery
bullshit.
shop, so it's just some loser who's like getting paid to mystery shop. You know?
Mystery shop. I feel like
It's
I don't know,
just a
every
bum
other
job, bro.
every other supermarket where I've shopped has always been like, where is this? Oh, it's in aisle 2. And that's like
all the information you need.
yeah,
right?
I mean, it's like, am I a
Like,
baby
if
that
you
needs to be
respect
walked
a
over
person
there?
enough, you can tell them like, "Hey, your water bottle's in aisle 8," and they'll respect that and be like, "Okay, I'll just
Like,
walk over the freaking
you
aisle
should've
8
just demeaned
and I'll
them.
find my water bottle." But it's like if you need actually me to walk you over to aisle 8 and point you at the water bottle,
They're like, sorry, I'm blind and deaf. So please.
I'm
guide
telling you,
me."
man, you should have just demeaned them. Like, oh, the baby needs to walk you over there.
You can't
Come on,
read.
man.
Do you need me to hold your hand?
And then the second freaking mystery shop I failed was so bogus. This one was even worse. So I was working on the avocados, and then this lady was asking me like, "Where are the tomatoes at?" And then they were literally at the table, literally directly behind where the avocados were at. I pointed at the avocados, and then she freaking docked me for not walking her over to the table that was literally right across from where I was currently working. So it was
Wow.
like, I didn't walk her over to that table, so she was like, "Hey, screw you, man, you're getting docked." And then the second thing she docked me for was that I didn't say thank you. You have to say thank you
For
every
what?
time. Just
What
like,
are you thanking them for?
I'm thanking them because I
Yeah,
have
shouldn't
to.
they be thanking you for showing you where?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
things are?
So I pointed her at the exact table where the location was.
and then you didn't say thank
But I
you.
didn't say thank you.
That
Yeah,
sounds
I
like
those
you're
exact
welcome.
Words. Exactly. I was like, "Have a nice day," and then that's what they wrote on the report. He said, "Have a nice day" instead of "thank you."
Dang, dude.
And it's like, oh, that's so
You
dumb.
better be careful next time, man. The next time I see you, you don't tell me thank you for like doing something for me. I'm gonna fuck
Yeah, we're
you up,
gonna
man.
dock friendship points.
Yeah, right.
I'm already counting friendship points,
Hey,
dude.
Clara,
What
Clara,
up, Clara?
Hey, Clara.
how's it going?
you want to make a brief
Yeah.
cameo?
Please make a
Yeah.
cameo.
Peter made a shout out for you. And he said hello.
Yeah.
We got a new 5th guest. This is Clara.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Aaron, we got to get to you because we've been talking about ourselves a lot.
Well,
We haven't-
we're all just going around the table. It's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's time to. I want to give you the floor.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm in a way fucking better spot than I was at the beginning of the year. I'll tell you that.
Because you got a job now.
Yeah, that's like the biggest number one thing. I got my full time big boy job. That was like the biggest
Nice.
step. 2 years in the making, I guess. Pretty sure at the beginning I said just keep going on the grind, hanging in there, and then it'll all work itself out. Because I know I said verbatim, my entire life is just an entire fortunate series of ass pulls, which it was, including getting this job. But it was like just a whole bunch of last second decisions that ended up working out. So
Yeah.
it still holds true to this day.
What happened?
I mean, like all my options of applying directly to companies didn't work out. So I was like, fuck it, let's go for these recruitment
Recruiting.
agencies
Yeah.
and see how that works out. Because I was like seriously running out of options.
Mm.
Talked to one and they said, here's a couple of options. Let's see how you do in the interviews. Interviewed for them. And the place that I'm working at right now was actually the place that I had the most doubt about from all the places that I interviewed at.
Oh, wow.
But there was something in the back of my head that was like, you should go for this one because judging on everything else that you've done, the most unlikely place that you think, like the last option you would pick, somehow always ends up being like the one that ends up working out for you. So I said, all right, let's just go with this because like, sure, these other places seem like they would be good, but something about this place seems like it's drawing me in, right? Went with it. And here I am. So it's good. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
I told myself at the beginning of the year, hang in there, things will get better. And they definitely did because I'm in like 1000% a much better place mentally, physically, financially, obviously the biggest part. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, it's nice being in a spot where I don't have to worry about what's gonna happen next week. Like,
Interesting, yeah.
yeah,
Next
like,
week is a
am I gonna
very
meet?
short period
Yeah,
of
like,
time.
am I gonna meet
That'll have
enough
an effect
money
on
to
your
make
psyche.
to meet my
Oh,
bills?
shit. Next week I'm broke.
Like, will this opportunity finally fall into my lap?
Mm.
And that was one of the things too. It was like, I've told you before how I have like these post-it notes on my mirror every morning that I look through. That I'm
Oh,
like,
you did? I thought
I don't know, maybe, but I'll tell you right now. But I
that's
have,
pretty, that's what David
It's a
Goggins
little-
suggested too.
yeah, it's a
He's
little
the
like
freaking Navy SEAL guy.
it's a little corny.
It's like, hey, put the post-it notes on your mirror.
I have a bunch of post-it notes on this big mirror at the foot of my bed that are kind of just like, I won't call them inspirational quotes, but it's kind of like little notes to
It's a
myself.
reminder,
Mantras.
right?
Yeah, mantras. And it's stuff that'll be like, keep working at it, smile because you don't have time to be depressed, shit like that. One of them is like, just fucking do it, dude. That's like straight up one of the quotes. Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
And as cheesy as it is, like that stuff totally helped me and got me through a lot of the tough times.
Never helps, yeah.
100%. The biggest things I attribute to getting through these last 2 years of like the trials and tribulations were
Post undergrad.
post undergrad. Yeah, that's a rough time for me, but hanging out with you guys, starting this project was a big part of it. Like it gave me a creative outlet and gave me a platform to kind of just like relieve some of the thoughts that were in my head and talk to other people about it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, hanging out with friends, all like you guys, especially, all my other friend groups that kept me like mentally grounded. Working out and having a physical outlet was definitely a big thing for me to keep myself grounded. Cause like now that it's far enough removed and I feel like comfortable talking about it, but man, like at the beginning of the year and like the 2 years prior leading up to that, up until everything was fixed with getting this job, right? Man, I was just like super depressed. Man, like I was just not mentally in a good spot. But now that's all water under the bridge, and like I'm in a totally much better spot. And like I said, it's thanks to you guys and everybody else that has managed to hang on with me and totally let me be a part of the group despite me being a sad boy on the inside. So I attribute all that success to you guys, like 100%.
I don't think any of us think that we're like letting you into the group. You're a part of this group regardless. It's always just like the hang is never complete unless we've got everyone here.
Thanks, man.
And so like there's definitely always a place for that. And especially for you being a part of this group, we need it.
Thanks.
And we need like your like opinions and your ideas. And like honestly, this whole thing wouldn't have been possible without you. Like
the whole podcast.
You know, even right now, like we got this new setup. And
dude.
I'm
very happy.
But I think even before the setup, we wouldn't have even had this whole thing, this whole like project that we've we're now 19 episodes in. It's kind of absurd because, you know, if we think back, you know, maybe a year and a half ago, it was me and you. Just one night we were drinking a little bit and we just recorded a single conversation, and that was the start of everything. And it's just this very small thing. And then, you know, little steps of buying like the next condenser or the next thing that just helps us sound even better. It's all those little things that kind of add up into this. And so I guess that's like a good like analogy for how this works as well. It's like everything kind of like works together in a crazy small step sort of way.
Yeah, little
The
baby
equipment's
steps.
pretty sick.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
dude.
sick.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say, like, a lot of times you think of like, or at least I think like, man, there's like, I kind of wish there was like a highlight reel for like, you know, your life, man.
Highlight.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what this is aiming to do.
That's
Yeah.
what this kind of acts like. At least it's something to kind of like preserve a little bit better. Because like the digital age. But like, think about Holy Dire. Think about synchronicity on the controller, just the guitar. Like, if only we had like a picture or something from that day. You know,
I mean, the fucking like
See
that
where you
fucking
came
spin
from.
move
Yeah.
from Holy Diver.
Spin
Like,
move, dude. If I had that on loop,
I'm
if that
telling
was a
you.
gift, dude, like that'd be a different story, man.
but so here's another thing that's interesting to think about. Now that you're in a spot where you're comfortable, it's a good idea to like think about how you would respond to those scenarios were they to come again. Because now you're in a place where
Yes.
you're not pressured to think about the situations. And as somebody who's like, you know, currently going through a profession change right now and looking for different jobs in a different profession, it's sort of similar where like, you know, every day is kind of like a struggle to get through it because you don't know how the next week is going to be. You're not really certain about the certainty. Yeah, that's funny. You're not really certain about like the regularity of your job, whether or not you'll be able to pay for certain things. And so like, of course, there's a lot of anxiety and like depressive episodes involved in that. But I think even right now is a good time to start thinking about what's my battle plan if that were to happen again, like unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And so like, I think like thinking ahead when you're in a spot to be relaxed is a way of like preparing yourself for not enduring the same hardships in the future. Right.
Well, dude, I was watching this. It's like definitely very popular now, but on Netflix, it was just The Mind Explained, and they were talking about meditation, and they were talking about how like, you know, like a monk will focus their physical energy or their mental energy, and it'll affect their physical state. And like the biggest thing that like I remembered was one of the monks was like, whenever he's faced with adversity or stress or anything like that, he just treats it like not like a negative thing, but just like a thing that's coming to visit, you know? It's like, I see stress you're visiting right now. and like I'll deal with you and then you'll be on your merry way and I'll probably see you again, you know? But he kind of treated it like a visit, you know? Like a visit from, it's like Hello Darkness My Old Friend, but actually a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And if you face like adversity like that, you know, like, all right, so I'm doing this, you know, feeling a little overwhelmed, but like, I don't know, if you don't treat it like almost like not like a failure, but like you said, adapting, you know,
Okay.
if you treat it like that, it's a little bit easier.
There's a certain point to be like believed with how your mindset and how you believe things and the power of your brain to create scenarios
Yeah.
and how you handle situations. So definitely that's like, that really hits it on the head. It's like, if you like compartmentalize and understand stressful situations as just to be passing moments and that you live within those moments, but they inevitably will pass, it helps ease the tension. One of the things that really helped me this year was I finally like took a step toward like I took a step in my self-care and like I started going to therapy.
Therapy, right?
And that's like a big deal. It's like something that took a lot of time to decide to do. And so I think something that I learned over the last like 2.5 months of doing it and of going to therapy was that like the mind is capable of so many crazy leaps. And like oftentimes you're not aware of the things that it's doing, or you're not aware of like the crazy things you might be thinking or the anxieties that you might be feeling. It takes like a process of meditation to go and like understand and resolve those issues. And so like, well, the biggest thing that I've learned is that in times when you feel anxious, the thing that you have to remember is a time when you feel relaxed. And so I kind of make that analogous to now, where like when you're in a position to feel relaxed, it's good to like think about those times when you would not feel relaxed, and think about how like when you're in this position, how you feel now and how you are is like where you should be and exactly how you should be. And so it's easier to weather those tough situations when you understand yourself and your position to be this and not always this, right? But also like there's an inherent like sense of prolonged darkness when you do like you don't have a job, when you aren't doing something you like to do, when you're stuck in that sort of scenario, right? But that is to say, like it's really great to be out of that now.
Yes.
And I think we definitely noticed like when you were struggling through hardships, it was always interesting to see like how you were handling it. We always trusted you to handle it as well.
Yeah, like when you said you didn't have a job or anything, I wasn't worried at all. That like I wasn't thinking like, you know, some people you're like, oh man, like they gotta kind of get their shit together.
Yeah.
That didn't cross my mind really.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
There's also one more thing that's really interesting. You talk about like your road to this point being like a bunch of ass pulls.
Yeah.
So there's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and it's what we had mentioned before, where like you being in a situation gives you a lot of time to like really reflect. And so I've been reflecting a lot on this. People like really talk about being fortunate in situations and being lucky. I think a lot of the time, like those people who are lucky have put themselves in positions to be opportune.
Do you make life happen? Do you let life happen?
Exactly.
To you?
And I think,
right.
And I think in your scenario, you were in a position where you were making yourself available for opportune scenarios.
Yeah.
And so like, as much as it was
It's
an ass
probability,
pull,
you know?
as much as it was an ass pull, you were doing things that were like putting you in a position to be lucky. And so like, I would say that that luck is about maybe 10% of the whole scenario.
And dude, it's kind of like Smash Bros. You know, it's kind of like anything. It's kind of like
There's
guitar.
a lot of things I think
Well,
like, hey,
I'm
it's
just
like a
saying,
video
like,
game. It's
you
like
kind of have
this,
to have like
this.
you have to have like a game plan. You know, you have to have like the knowledge of what you're gonna do. Then you have to go try and do it, and you might not execute the mechanics of what you want to do precisely.
But you can
you'll be
think
in a better
about
scenario.
what you did wrong, at least.
Well, yeah, and you'll be in a better scenario than where you were, you know, before.
Precisely right.
Yeah,
Like you have
advantage
to,
state.
you have to
Right.
do
Advantage.
exactly the advantage state. You have
Yeah.
to do in order for yourself to be like fortunate in those scenarios. And so
Yeah.
I think like as much as it was like not a great time, those small things like the mantras, like anything that really helps you move forward in a scenario, not just stay stagnant, which is such an easy thing to do when you're in a depressive state, is
Yeah,
like
for sure.
becomes so dependent on your depressive state as a source of comfort because you're accustomed to it, is to just like continue pushing through it. Right.
Yeah.
And so like I completely believe that you yourself were able to move on this, and you yourself were the force behind all of it.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
so like, but so that's like something I feel like you should take out of this, that like even in those moments of hardship, you have the gut, the moxie to kind of
grit.
like, yeah, the grit.
Yeah, there you go.
The grit, right? Like the impetus for personal responsibility to get you out of anything.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, that's a cool thing to think about.
And that was for sure a part of it. Like you said, knowing what I had to do. I always had, and I always have had like a game plan for like the pathway of my life. Obviously things will change because they're not always going to play out exactly as you plan them to, right? But like I always had a game plan, and it was sort of just a matter of executing it. But like you said, I had to work to make things happen, to have the opportunities presented to me so that that game plan could happen in the first place. So yeah, like compared to the beginning of the year, I definitely stuck to my guns and said and did what I said, you know, like hang in there, keep on grinding. It'll work out eventually. I don't know how it was going to work out, but it did, because, you know, I try to live in the present and let the things happen as they are going along and try not to think too deeply about it, because then, you know, you start to second guess yourself. But then it all started to work out. And then, I don't know, half of it was just continually grinding. And then the other half of it was my vindicative personality and saying, fuck this, the situation sucks, I'm going to do something to change it. And then, I guess it was like partially also my own stubbornness that got me out of it. So
Yeah.
good job, early 2019 me. You did it. This is
Nice.
future. This is end of 2019, Aaron. You said you did it, dude.
I think in a lot of ways, like this group, you know, could think about the ways in which 2019 has been a positive year, right?
Yeah, it's really easy to just think like be very like down, you know, especially like just young adults, you know. It's like
Yeah.
the age
Yeah.
where it happens, like statistically.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, if you take positive and like, and not just like making them up, but like actually just recognizing them, you know,
Yeah.
like recognizing what you've actually accomplished this year, you gotta give some props to
Focus
yourself.
on the positives. Sometimes
Yeah.
we're too much
You
negative.
were trash at
Nancy's.
Smash, Peter. You sucked so bad.
I was so bad,
Bro,
and
you
then
were
I,
so
I was
trash.
running the table last time though. You know,
Yeah, you got the
You know?
table that time, bro.
Yeah.
Not this time, bro.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, okay.
Emergency 5.
Well, now that we've done our reflections on the past, since the New Year's just around the corner, you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
Dude, I do have one.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanna I'd like to place in a competition, like a guitar competition.
Ooh.
Dang.
Add it to the resume that I've either won or like been successful in one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That'd be cool, you know.
That'd be hype,
to
yeah.
get like something so impressive and performance ready that I could win something. That would just be like, it wouldn't just be good resume material, but it would just be a very fun experience to travel somewhere and be successful, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, it almost makes it like some sort of validation, you know, that like you're not just like, you know,
Yeah,
you don't just
you
play
put a lot of time into guitar.
Yeah,
I'm sure
you
you
know.
want to have something to show for it.
just a little bit,
I'm
you
sure
know.
you already do have a lot to show for
But-
it. Like just hearing you play.
Yeah, but under
having
you know
a
what they
competition
say,
title, that'd be something else.
you're only as good as you perform, you know.
Interesting.
That's like when
Yeah.
you hear someone's recording, you're not gonna like think like, oh, they probably did better in their bedroom at home. You're just gonna base it off that recording, you
True.
know. So like to get really good at performing too, and like being under like high pressure situations.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good goal.
Your concert was lit, though.
Hey,
I will
thanks.
say.
I took some tequila before that. I took a shot. It helped.
Did
calm
it
me a
help
little-
you?
Yeah, I felt like I was just hanging out.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I think there's a sense of like when you're performing, it's like, and this is something that I kind of I observe as being a good quality. In order to perform well, I think a necessity that a lot of musicians don't consider is really enjoying the craft. And I think like I think it's important not to burn yourself out on just practicing when you do something like this.
You do have to enjoy it. That's so true.
Exactly. And so I think what I admire about your path is that like I see that you enjoy a lot of the guitar as its own thing. Like the ability to branch is kind of like something that exhibits enjoyment of the instrument itself. And that's super key in any sort of successive
like
path
that
in the instrument.
That guitar trio that you showed us, that was pretty sick, man.
Yeah.
They were all going tension.
Yeah,
going back to
I think
E.
there's passion there. That's the biggest thing, you know. So
Exactly.
I think it'll be good, but that's like the main thing. Just like to go, even just to go out and compete, you know. Just go out there and do like you said, just go do it, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I mean, as
I
per our conversation, like you can't be lucky at a thing like that unless you
Put yourself in a scenario
yeah.
where you.
What did you call it? You called it the
advantage state. Yeah,
exactly.
But you have to put yourself in advantage state.
yeah,
Other than
exactly.
other than the neutral.
Neutral.
It's a neutral is freaking life, dude.
That's fucking
Yeah,
real.
right.
That's the advantage
It's
state.
actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then a disadvantage state, you have to be, very, you have to be mindful on how to get out of that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple New Year's resolutions because 2020 is about to be a tough year academically. Gonna finally finish up my undergrad.
Yay.
Hey, what's up?
It's very exciting.
It's time.
Yes. And it's rough because it's music school. And
Fucking music
I'm
school.
not really trying to be there. But it's only 3 more semesters. So that's completely
Claire, you should say your
doable.
degree, because maybe you should say it.
Yeah, so
what
I'm
your
studying.
exact degree is.
I started vocal performance, so opera, and then I changed to vocal performance and speech and hearing sciences. It's been really exciting because I finally realized the intersection between the two. So I'm gonna want to do research on Fach is what I eventually want to do because there's a really missing body of research for that.
It's like connecting the frequencies with I don't know, different voice parts, right? Or,
Yeah, I want to figure out physiology of singers,
Can I
voice
ask?
types.
Did you say research? What it was something einfach?
Fach, yeah,
Oh,
so
Fach.
subject,
Okay.
but that's how singers are classified. So,
Okay.
soprano mezzo
Yes.
or soprano, lyric
soprano.
coloratura or dramatic or
So the different types of singers,
spinto.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
classifying them in a more scientific way.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
then also just having, actually connecting the voice to a anatomical, I don't know.
There's got to be something in there
Something
that
useful.
says okay, this should indicate what your voice type is because I've gone through the years and I've been told I'm a mezzo, I've been told I'm a coloratura, I've been told I'm a dramatic soprano, and I've gotten all these different answers. And I think finally now I'm starting to figure out what my voice type is. But it'd be great to just, skip all that. I think that's the major thing that's missing in the voice community. So, I mean, that's a long-term goal, but it's really nice having a big purpose in mind as I go through music school to get me to finish while I'm taking both classes in speech and hearing and in music. So that's great. That's my academic thing. Me and Peter are trying to work out more,
Yeah.
Nice.
get in better shape, get
another
ripped
thing.
for
Get
summer
ripped.
2020.
Yeah.
Get a good
Shredded.
shape at
Yeah.
least,
There you go.
A good shape.
A good shape.
What's a good one?
A pair.
Round.
Fair.
Like a
Two
rhomboid.
of them.
Oh, how about a big gourd?
Lord, nice pumpkin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also want to focus on listening. I think in 2020 is I really want to listen to learn because as I get less anxious and more confident, I think it's time for me to step back and just listen. And so that's what I'm looking forward to in 2020.
Listening is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's a
You gotta
Being
practice
good
it more.
listener.
It's a great skill too.
Yeah.
There was the director of the film The French Connection. I forget his name. I think it was Errol Morris or Errol Morris or something like that. Anyways, he also made a film called The Thin Blue Line, in which he interviews a bunch of people about a false crime. But from the movie, he has a quote that basically reads, "When you ask people the right questions and then you listen, people will talk for a long time." And that's an interesting statement because it kind of tells you that you don't really need to say very much in order for people to talk. And all you really need to do to get information is to listen. People will talk and people will give you information if you listen. And so that's I think it also kind of speaks to the type of listening you do. And this is something that that dad really talks about is active listening. Really gives you all the information you need to help people. And so I think that's a really great and admirable goal for the next year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Active listening. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
important. And it's hard too, because it's so easy just to get caught up in what you're thinking about. For me, I sometimes will just be thinking about completely something else when somebody else is talking. And I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be with another person and talking and knowing that you don't have to say as much is huge. because I used to have an expectation that I needed to like say the right thing, and that's totally stupid. So,
Dan, what's your New Year's revolution?
Revolution.
Yeah, that's what I'm naming this. That's what I'm naming this episode.
I'm not sure. I guess I gotta think it through more.
Yeah.
Work in
Yeah,
progress.
it's important, bro. You gotta think of what you know.
Do you have any
If you don't know what you know, like if you don't know who you are, then you're screwed, man. That's the important thing. You gotta know who you are, what you want to be.
Do you have any like immediate goals?
Media goals.
Small goals, small term.
Yeah, like
Short
dude,
term.
even league, golden league is even a goal.
I already got the goal. The season's
I'm just
over. So
saying.
next season I want to get to play it, but that's not an immediate goal. You know, next season's like
Still be
next
a
year.
New Year's resolution,
resolution?
for 2020.
Yeah, I mean,
Resolution for 2020. I want to be able to dunk, man. That's
Yeah,
probably-
dude.
Oh, there you go.
that's
Dude,
probably the
I
next-
think
cool.
okay. I think you could do it.
I'm tall enough to be able
You're
to
tall
freaking
enough.
dunk. I'm like
dude.
6'1", so
You got to borrow these shoes that we had.
nah, dude. I got
They got
some
flubber on the
Steph
bottom.
Curry's, man. I just bought
Oh
them
no,
fresh,
these are
man.
like dunk training shoes.
dunk training
training
shoes.
Yeah, I
Are they
remember.
That's a
weighted?
thing?
Yeah.
it sounds like a scam.
Basically, they're like
Maybe.
Just weighted shoes or something?
No, you put them on, and then they don't have a heel,
Interesting.
and like if I remember correctly, you kind of walk around in them, and they basically train your calves as well as like everything else.
Interesting.
But you know what
I'd
you
be
could
down.
There's a
do?
missing heel.
You know what you could do, Dan, which I think I'd be down with, is if we can get like the hoop to your house, because like we don't use it, you know.
Outside hoop
Yeah, I wonder if you could change the heights and then like go like from seven,
and try to dunk
7.5,
on it.
like keep going up with like
Yeah.
see if you can get with a tennis ball, because like you know how they say, you know, like the best way to, or one of the best ways to just get better at jumping is jumping, right?
Jumping, right? Okay.
Right, like.
I want to
Dude,
be able
I'll
to
train you
freaking
if you
dunk,
want to do
bro.
some jump training. I'm the guy to talk to.
Aaron's a fucking
Mm.
Oh
jumper.
yeah, Aaron's he's got the vert, man.
Okay.
Forgot.
Yeah, it's definitely something. If it's 2021 and I can't dunk, I'm gonna be probably a little bit more upset with myself than I am right now.
Think of it, man. This is your prime time, though. Prime time.
right.
We're not getting any
Prime time,
younger,
bro.
so
Now's the time to do it. Yeah.
Have you guys seen that video of that tribe? I think in like Western Africa, and their men are
Alright, come
hunters,
on.
and they all just
Carefully.
jump super high.
really?
No, like it's their thing. They
Oh,
don't
I
yeah.
want to look this
jump.
up.
It's so cool.
Damn.
Dang.
Like, we could all be like that a little more
Yeah.
Just
in
jump.
2020.
Just being able to jump higher.
Yeah.
Everyone should increase their vertical this year.
Like,
Yes.
literally.
That's a great
collective-
goal.
That's the
Increase your vertical by 2 inches at
Increase
least.
your vert. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone can do 2 inches, right?
All
I
right.
don't know, man. Two inches is a lot.
Average 2 inches. Yeah, human race.
Yeah.
You just got to do like 10 like jumping jacks a day or like burpees, dude.
Okay, wait. Let's do
Oh,
this.
increase
10
your
jumping
burpees.
jacks a day will give you 2 inches on your vert by the end of the year.
I think so.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do it.
There's our fitness challenge.
10 jumping. Man, maybe it should be 20. I mean,
Man, I need some insurance, you know.
You want 4
about
inches?
25,
then, huh?
man.
Double the work.
I'm looking for D-Rose vertical improvement. 48-inch vertical.
Dang, dude.
So what is that? That means about 196 jumping jacks a day.
Yeah, that's not that
If we're
many.
if we're on a linear scale.
Yeah, and going like up, down, that's one.
Okay. Who counts just this as 1, 2? The up down is a 1, 2.
That's like push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's yours, JP?
It's a good one. I think I have like a bunch of goals probably. I think my first one is like my every year goal, which is don't be a fucking moron. That's like the one that I always have. It's just don't be stupid. The next one I probably is to it's probably to take my time. I think I'm generally very impatient with goals, and I think I need to be achieving more often quicker. But I think like in general, I need to just take my time with things and allow patience and allow time and effort on a long scale to work its way into doing things. I don't know. I have a sense that like things that I do, I need to achieve quickly because I should be quick at learning things. But I think that's not a very reasonable reaction to have to what I do and to how I learn. And so like, it's the patience to allow myself to do things. And it's the patience to allow a willingness to do that. And so that's the thing I think is to be patient. And then also, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, it was to put myself in opportune situations. That was the one thing I wanted to do this year. And I think I do that already, but I think it's also like thinking more in advance. So like a good example is trying to be less resentful of people because I've never I don't know when I'll have to interact with them. I don't know when my like experiences with said person or this or that person might affect how my future goes.
Dang.
And so it's better if I just treat everyone at the very base as zero, as like as neutral, and not like more swinging on any sort of like scale. And I think I do that pretty well nowadays. Like I'm a lot less like, I don't know, vitriolic in my what's the word, in my opinions and in my views of people. And so like that's something that I want to do this year, is just like try and be generally better. And so that's it.
That's good.
It's a good one, I'm hoping. I mean, I think it's a good goal. I don't know how like accessible that is, but we'll see what the year holds.
It's about to be an exciting year, I think, for you.
I hope so.
This shift.
We shall see.
Yeah.
I don't.
Roaring 20s.
The Roaring 20s have started. Well, at least they will have started. It's just I want to be patient, and I don't want to like jump any guns, because like I think it's so easy to get caught up in like profession shift, like I'm gonna be doing this and that when I have no idea about any of it, and so I kind of just want to like sit along for the ride right now and see what happens, and I think that'll like award the best results rather than push expectation by expectation and then failure by expectation. You set yourself up to fail by giving yourself too many lofty goals to accomplish, rather than smaller goals to accomplish that are a little bit more reasonable. But but it's definitely exciting, and so I'm just gonna ride it out for now and see what happens.
So I feel like when you go into doing something, like if you like not anticipate something going wrong, but I feel like if you recognize that something might go wrong, I feel like that helps too.
Yeah, there's
just like knowing like what the plan will be if something goes wrong, even just like mentioning it beforehand.
Contingency plan.
Yeah, and just have like even thinking about like the alternate option if it doesn't work out, because then it's not an expectation, it's just a reaction now. And it's already calculated, and you're like, I'm gonna do this, if this happens,
That's true.
And I feel like if you just anticipate and think about like what you would do if that happened, I don't know, just the awareness of that too helps not be like shocked or surprised by things,
Yeah,
makes you a little bit more ready to receive like, quote unquote bad news.
That's absolutely true. I think definitely being prepared for an answer like that it's like there's a saying that I think we believe, and that's like you like prepare for the worst. But I think by saying like you anticipate bad things, that's a better way of saying it, because you're not preparing for the worst to happen, as in you're expecting failure all
you're
the time.
Anticipating it though, just in case.
Yeah, well, I think it's more of a calculation.
Yeah,
it's like when you can if you can anticipate something bad to happen, then there's a reasonable idea of like something bad might happen. But if there's no reason to anticipate it, then you shouldn't like make something out of nothing, right?
Yeah,
I think that's good advice.
That's crazy. I feel like we all kind of like figured out a little clarity, in the past year.
Oh, for sure.
And even still, we've had hangs, and I feel like whether we realize it or not, that helps contribute to the clarity,
It was definitely a growing year for all of us.
Yeah,
really,
exactly. Yeah.
And it's interesting to think back upon it because I think this year kind of came and went. When I've gone
quick, right?
Yeah, I didn't feel as if like a lot of crazy things happened. I felt like a lot of developmental things happened.
Yeah, right.
This is like
stark.
It's like one of those. It's like a middle season. Like one of those TV shows where the season happens.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, oh, this was a character development season where nothing really exciting happens, but
essential.
But it's extremely essential. Like everything has to happen at this year in order for like bigger things to set up the next few years.
It almost makes it all the more deserving when something happens,
Yeah,
like to actually have any trials and if it was all handed to you,
yeah,
it wouldn't mean as much.
That's right. And it goes back to like nothing ever comes easy. It's like you can't expect yourself to just do like to get things for nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like what is it? Somebody told me that like nobody like, oh, what is it? It's the perfect performance never happens. Like, or rather like the perfect performance never happens by accident. You don't go into a competition or any sort of recital without like not having practiced well, and then it accidentally becomes the best thing of all time.
Yeah.
Right? That never happens, and it will never happen. And it's because the people who have those exceptional recitals or exceptional performances have been preparing for that for a long time. Right. And so it's like, you know, it's that same principle where you need these things, these little like long periods of trial, of like figuring things out and of development in order to have that breakthrough, like crazy recital experience or crazy like performative experience that really makes you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, exactly. What have you got, Aaron?
For me, get ripped, get jacked. Obviously, it's a long-term goal. I'm very proud of the progress that I have made thus far. 2020, I feel this will be the year where I achieve my goal that I have set, which isn't like, it's not immeasurable. It's not like I want to hit this weight or like this body mass index. It's just like I want to hit an aesthetic visually where I'm like, yeah, okay, you're pretty good. And then I just want to maintain it.
Yeah.
So this year I'm going to go hard, extra hard on working out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
The fucking
that's
worst
about
part
it.
about any sort of like workout resolution is that you make a resolution when we're in the middle of holiday season.
Yeah, I know. The
And, like,
worst time for that to happen.
And like personally, I've been like doing really well at the gym recently. Like I hit a nice stride, and then we're going into next week, just like an
Just
absolute shit
eating
show of a week.
and breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
and it's
is.
like being, you know, I'm going to be out of town and I'm going to be in a place where I don't have like gym membership regularly,
Yeah.
or like, and you're doing that too, Peter. Like
You got to
you're gonna be
run
out of
for
town.
2 miles,
That's
man.
what I'm doing. I'm just
2
gonna
miles.
run every freaking day.
Dude, not 1.
2.
Get 2 in, man. You'll thank yourself.
Dude,
for
even
that 2.
slow though, it's good. But that's the thing. It's like I love that these resolutions to like get huge and get jacked. Not even huge, just like cut. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it. That's pretty much. I just want to get like cut, really cut.
I will say that you've been on that incline for a while though.
Thanks, dude.
And so I
I'm
mean,
working
like
on
it'll happen whether or not, like, you know, regardless of the holidays. I just think of it. I think it's kind of like it's always been an ironic little thing. Like time to get ripped because I'm now really fucking fat. You know, like
Yeah,
welcome to the
yeah.
holidays.
Welcome
Yeah.
to-
Push-up challenges or six-pack challenges. Or we never got six packs.
Peter's nodding, kind of like despairingly.
Dude,
like,
we signed the 6 packs. We all signed that 6 pack,
dude,
right?
Yeah.
Jordan left, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
Jordan
matter.
left for the Navy, so that was clean.
Yeah, so it's clean. It's
Oh,
okay, man.
sweet.
There's
Can we
something.
talk
There's
about-
something in there about contracts. I can talk to Kelby. I can discuss with my lawyer about it.
Can we talk about the freaking New Year's resolutioners that take up all the space in the gym for the first like week, month? Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Do you think we could have like some sort of process that, like, in order to get to those machines, they have to cross through a gauntlet?
Yeah.
It's us throwing.
It's like, do
stuff
they
at
have the
them?
metal
Yeah.
to actually last this long in the
Yeah.
gym for an extended period of time?
We just throw dumbbells at them.
Yeah, and they have to catch and
25 and up.
press. Yeah.
Oh,
No, how about 25 and under? If they can't even pass the 25 and under test, they don't deserve to make it into the gym.
The beginning of the
Like-
year is absolutely the worst time to go to the gym.
Like, I don't want to have to go to a gym and watch like some jackass curl in the squat rack. You know? Have you seen that recently?
I have actually
I saw it recently, and I like wanted to kill myself.
at the Schaumburg Export. Literally all three
Schaumburg Export.
all 3 squat racks were taken up by people that were not doing anything regarding
Hey, man,
squats or legs. I was
he's
like,
getting
come
shoulder
on.
syndrome.
Ugh.
Right now at DePaul's gym, they have they reorganized the entire gym to have more squat racks, which is excellent, except for when you go over there and you find some jackass in the squat rack doing bench press.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's like, come on.
He
Like,
dragged the bench all the
he
way
did.
over there.
They dragged
he parked
the benches.
it in.
He parked it in there. He had to wheel
He had
it
to back
around,
up a
do
little
that
bit.
crazy shit. Where you
3-point
gotta like,
turn.
yeah, no, it's even more than
You
that.
saw him do it too,
It
right
was
when you
awful.
walked in.
Dude, it was awful.
You're like, no way he's going to the squat racks.
Yeah, I've like lost positions to that.
oh my.
Yeah. I think watching people do anything on the squat rack besides squatting, there should be some sort of like, you know,
That's why I go late
Defense.
so that I don't have to wait for anything or watch people do things in the gym that they're probably not supposed to be doing.
there was this guy I saw in the gym recently. I was getting my locker from the front desk, and the guy at the front desk who's giving me my locker was like, "Holy shit!" And I'm like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "That guy's just insane back there." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "He's insane." And so
Good or
and I
bad
turn
thing?
around, nothing's happening, and he's like, "That guy's doing a handstand." And I'm like, oh, "You're fucking new here, right?" Because like that's not insane. Like,
JB, you remember when we used to go to you used to go to Charter Fitness for like 3 weeks? Not even a member.
What was Charter Fitness?
Those are Jordan went.
Because I was home for a few
It was
weeks
funny.
and I didn't want to pay for any gym membership.
Yeah.
And so Jordan was going to Charter.
Yeah, I went with him too.
I went with the charter.
Go to Charter because nobody checked you in at the door. And then what they did though was they had a free guest pass. And so what I did was I would have my guest pass with me in case they would ask me, and I would walk through and there would be no one there checking IDs. And so I would just go in and work out. This was a 1 week guest pass, mind you. I kept this up for 3 weeks. I would just walk in, and then finally somebody like asked me like, "Hey, you have a guest pass?" And I'm like, "Oh, here it is." And they're like, "This expired like a month ago."
And you're like,
You
oh,
just
I
went
had no
home?
clue.
Oh man, sorry.
Oops, wrong one.
That was just one of those days. It's like I guess I'm not working out today.
And then you just went home.
Yeah. No, I would just walk in though and just do jack shit. Whatever I wanted.
That's one.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charter was a good gym too.
No, it wasn't.
Charters suck, man.
They
I
had
thought we're
everything.
specifically
What do you mean?
talking shit about Charter.
It was the
Gym
worst
right
gym of all time.
Well, I mean,
Yo,
the
remember-
equipment was good.
Like the gym could have been like the size of 2 of these basements.
Yo, remember Jordan? You'd call it Chardo Fitness.
now. Chardo.
yeah. What?
I mean, I got some good workouts in there.
You can get a good workout in any sort of gym, but
Yeah.
Charter sucks ass. Like that's
What about
that's-
the home gym guys? Round 2 of the curls. I was kidding.
We did this thing earlier for everyone who's like not aware of this, where we all stand in a circle and we all do one curl more than the last person. we pass the dumbbell and say I did 1, then Peter would do 2, Aaron would do 3, and Dan would do 4. And we keep going until everyone dropped out. That's the level of kind of tomfoolery that's
Yeah, what did you
preluded
guys
this.
do this Saturday? I lifted on one arm more than my friend.
And Aaron didn't participate
I didn't
in the left.
participate. Yeah,
hand.
so I only have one gigantic right bicep, and my left bicep is small, shriveled.
Freaking one arm's
childlike.
Larry the Lobster. The other arm's
It's really
Doug
been throwing me
Dimmadome.
off this entire podcast.
I got
Like I
anchor
can't.
arms on my right hand, and then
I mean, you can't be
shriveled
wearing a
up.
shirt
He's
like
got
that
all
if
that
you haven't
hairy
got
setting
like. Oh my god!
for the ladies.
He's got the hairy for the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a shark. No, I was kidding. Because that guy in the commercial was literally a shark.
He was literally a big shark with human arms.
Hey,
That was the worst part about it.
wimpy, wimpy, oh, little peanut.
Little peanut boys. What do you call them?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Already an hour and 35 minutes.
Oh,
shit.
nice.
45 minutes.
Oh wow! Nice job,
Yeah,
everyone.
we did
Yeah.
a long episode.
I felt like it was an episode that needed to happen though.
Oh, yeah.
The
I was happy to be home.
Our
for
year in review.
Yeah. Year in review. I wish we could have like a montage.
That's
of
what
all
I'm
the
saying. The
things.
highlight reel.
The highlight reel would be great.
Yeah,
And you
your
can't.
top 10 sports center of your year.
Yeah. And I mean, the centers would say that Facebook and iPhone offers those things, but I checked out my year in review recently from my iPhone, and it was just a picture of all like a screenshot of a bunch of of recipes from the internet.
And that was it.
Yeah, and like my class list and these emails I needed to remember. And so I got all these like screenshots off my phone of that. None of these like good heartwarmy feely pictures. It was like, this is the class list of children I have in the one class. This is the other class. Or like, this is this email I need to remember to respond. And then I got like one picture of like it's blurry because I accidentally took a picture. Yeah, it's like bullshit like that. And it's like you'd expect the phone that like basically records all of my information and conversations. I'm talking to my phone. Fuck you to basically be able to curate a nice photo album for me at the end of a whole year of screenshots. But no, it's these stupid dumbass things. I think the best one was looking through it. And I had this random screenshot of Squidward with a hat. Do you remember when SpongeBob and Patrick are in the imagination box?
Yeah.
And he tries to simulate it
Wait.
by getting the hat box out.
Yeah.
I've got it saved.
Dude, I have it saved too.
It's a great photo.
I want to show you.
Yeah, please.
Well,
I want you to
clearly
show
it's
me.
important enough to be.
It's
in
him wearing
your
a sombrero.
year review. The upside down sombrero to keep
Look,
the
right here,
secret
dude.
away?
It's this one. Check it out.
Is this one?
Yeah, it's that exact picture.
Yeah,
It's
right?
Squidward looking kind of
He's squinting at it.
yeah, he's squinting and looking a little bit questionably at a sombrero. And then he says to himself, "Why don't I ever wear this?" Yeah, and so like I said, real montage would help.
Wow.
I checked out recently the Calby and I have this running joke where we just go just friends as if we're not dating.
Yeah.
And so recently our Facebook friendship came up,
It was 2 photos long.
That's it.
Yeah, it was.
my God.
Yeah, it was nothing, and I think it was like a
That's
tagged
nice.
photo and like a meme. And so I can't trust anything to really curate a real photo highlight reel for myself in any year.
Yeah, that's about it. What a end to our year.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's all I got.
yeah.
So you got anything else extra to add, Peter?
That's it, I think.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess this is
2019
good.
signing off.
2019. Well, this will come out in 2020 because I'm going to be slow about it. But at the time of recording, 2019.
Yeah. From everyone
See you
here,
later.
we got the full cast
Yeah.
signing off.
We out you.
Goodbye.